Well, do you still do 4 on, 4 off?
No, because there's only 7 days in a week.
Non-apologetic
Nonsense.
Did you see the cop up the road on your way here?
Uh-uh.
I don't have a cluster in my truck anymore. It's like everything, your speedometer, your RPMs, your gas gauge, your heat gauge, like everything.
How do you know anything?
I don't. That's the thing. See, my truck, the whole time I've had it,
Every drive is a great gamble.
the people who had it before, they had wired in their sound system and just jacked up a bunch of stuff. So I've replaced everything I found, but there's almost always a power drain on the battery. And then add that into every couple years, the cluster just quits working. Like all the gauges just go dead. It's been dead for about a month, right? And I just took it out, popped it out about a week ago. And I'm going to send it off to like a repair service to replace the little actuator motors in there. Even in Webb City today, there was a cop there in front of the school on Main Street. I have no idea how fast I'm going. So it's one thing on the highway when you can just, kind of feel it.
You should avoid school zones.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I'm not used to seeing a cop out here, so I don't know how fast I was going. I could have been going 55. I could have been going 85, I have no idea. My truck hauls. You know what I mean? That thing just takes off. But it is crazy the amount of time since I've had that truck that the cluster hasn't worked. Gas gauge is the worst, though. I have no idea. No, I started keeping track right when I took it out. I've since not kept track. So I don't know. So every time I leave, or at least every few days, I put like a 20 in it. Because the last time I got the cluster repaired, once again, I'm in Oronogo, and then the vehicle just dies on me, and steering locks up, and I'm like, oh, shoot. And it never even came to mind that it could be gas, but yeah, I just flat out ran out of gas. And I pulled into one of them little neighborhoods, and it's just blocks from the gas station. So some dude was like, hop in, and we went and got some gas. And then I got to look like a big dummy. But yeah, I have no gas gauge, no heat gauge. I got nothing. So it is, you do learn how to drive a wee bit differently with that. I got something cool. Well, I don't have it yet. I ordered it. It's a keychain, okay? And on the keychain is what looks like a scope. It's like this thick, and it's a cylinder, right? And it has a lens on both sides. And then if you put your eye to it, you see a photo, right? It uses a couple mirrors to show you an itty bitty photo larger. So I got one of Shadow. So it was actually the day before he passed when we were taking him to the vet. We're in the truck. And yeah, so I ordered that from this company called Where Felicia or Where Felicity or something. And I doubled down on it for other people. Damn it, we're going to have to cut that line out. People watch this. It's been my understanding I've had to answer for a few things we have said on this show. Certain people, and it'll be stupid stuff I don't even think about. So I guess we can't censor that since I'm going to continue down this path. But I'll be like, Friday night, I didn't do anything. I just sit here and chilled. And then I'll get a message like, hey, asshole, I had a party and you said you had plans. And it's like, well, I just didn't want to go to your dumb fucking party, okay? How about you fucking watch this and fucking get back with me? Well, we've been doing this a minute. Have you had to answer for anything?
No.
No one's came at you and been like, what was that shit about?
No, not once.
Because I know we won't say the actions, but I know for a minute you were worried about your job.
Oh, yeah.
That's no longer a concern of yours?
Not one bit.
That's good. Good way to be it, especially since we once again have substances in plain view. That's what probably get the most comments about. If it's not how big of an asshole I am, it's I'm bald. And that's like the go-to, right? It'd be like, well, why don't you just shut up? You're bald. Okay.
Burn.
But if it's not that, it's that I'm a heavy user of this, that, or the next. I think just yesterday, someone actually had a good, it's not worth looking up, but they had a good line. They said, how dare, I said something they didn't like about their favorite creator or something. I wasn't talking to this person. I don't know who this person is. And they said, you look like a skeleton someone forgot to take the peel off of. I thought that's pretty good, right? That's pretty good.
A skeleton someone forgot to take the peel off of.
Yeah. So why aren't you working today anyways? We typically don't record on a Monday morning.
Is that the day off?
Just that simple.
Yep.
Well, do you still do 4 on, 4 off?
No, because there's only 7 days in a week.
Fair enough. So what do you do then?
Right now, this month, it's 3 on, 4 off.
And those are 12s?
Yeah. Yeah, and then I'll go back to work tomorrow, work 3 days, and then I'll have 7 days off.
Ooh, but it still adds up at the end of the month as if you had worked a regular 8 hours, 5 days a week.
Yeah, the way they schedule or whatnot. And then once I get that 7 off, then I'll go back to the working weekends, working 4 on and having 3 off.
That works out pretty well. My stuff's getting crazy. Just with the
do tell.
Just with the eBay stuff. Like this kid tried to scam me over the weekend. He's from a different country. He's from Honduras. See, I'm not part of the eBay international shipping program, mainly because I don't understand it. But apparently, if you're part of it, you can ship something to a U.S. warehouse and eBay will handle it from there, opening up your pool of buyers. But there's details about it that seem kind of fishy. So I'm not a part of it, right? So apparently, if you're not a part of it, people from other countries have figured out there's these companies called freight forwarders. So I shipped a router. It's like a $200 like gaming Wi-Fi router to Miami, Florida. So I assume the buyer's from Miami, Florida. He messages me like 28 days after I had it as delivered and said, hey, this doesn't work for me. And I'm like, no, I tested it. You know what I mean? I pack things well. I said, well, what's the deal? And he lets it slip that he's an international customer. And I said, well, I don't have international customers. So can you explain that to me? And he was like, yeah, well, when you shipped it to Florida, you weren't shipping it to me. You were shipping it to a storage locker that then forwards it to Honduras. And I'm like, well, if it doesn't work, you're kind of screwed then, buddy. Because if you do a return, eBay auto generates a label, and I can't, nor would I want to pay for a return from Honduras, so I could only do it from Florida where it was delivered to. And I told him that, and I also did a little research. Apparently, US-based routers may not work in other countries. And I told him that, and he tries telling me that, no, eBay policy is that I have to, since I'm not going to pay return shipping from Honduras, I have to give him 100% refund. I'm like, oh. And then I never heard back from him. But like he was trying to pull some shenanigans on me. But apparently eBay's money back guarantee ends at a point that I ship it to you and you ship it somewhere else. You know what I mean? That extra step voids your eBay warranty. So I'm waiting on him to open up a case on me. But he only has up until the 30-day point, and that is tomorrow. So he better get his Honduras to English translator open and start typing up that case, because otherwise he's just SOL. It sounds like he was just trying to hustle me.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
I don't know. I now think everyone who opens up a case is trying to hustle me, because that's what happens 9 times out of 10 on eBay, you know? Because most people, if they have a true issue, they'll just message you. Hey, this arrived. This was broken. Here's a photo. And I'm like, oh, no problem. Here's your refund. I mean, that's what I type. Inside, I'm like, you motherfucker. But that's just part of the game. You know what I mean? You're shipping stuff. Like every day I'm shipping out. Well, you saw the pile of packages that are out there right now waiting on the postman. But, I'm shipping out about 10 packages per day. It is getting straight up bananas. Hey, you moved into a new place, right?
I did.
What's the deal with that?
A lot better than my last one. Neighborhood's a lot quieter. Not as many vagrants around.
Yeah, because I guess we can say this since you're not there anymore. You were off 7th Street in Joplin, so you were like a block off of 7th. You were right right in the mix.
Yeah.
So you're not even in Joplin anymore.
Back in Wood.
Well, hell, that works. Are you sharing walls with people anymore?
Yeah, still, unfortunately.
Well, that's a shame.
But it's a lot nicer than the last place.
Can you hear like their televisions and stuff?
If I got it like dead quiet in my house, like I did last night for a minute, I was turning shit off and going upstairs. I could slightly hear the neighbor's radio.
Do you ever hear
TV.
them fucking?
No.
Do you purposely keep it quiet when you're fucking?
No. No, like they do. Well, bedrooms are on the opposite, like at the end. Those walls don't share.
Actually, I bet you most guys who, they take a house and they split it up for the rentals, they don't even think about that. That's a really good idea. Because I would think most people just mirror it. This kitchen is exactly across from this kitchen in the same spot in the 2 apartments. This bedroom is across from this bedroom.
Right. It does have a 1.5 bath.
What is a 1.5? No shower?
Yeah.
Is there a bathtub? It's just
when the bathroom upstairs has bathtub,
right,
shower.
but the half bath is just a toilet and a sink.
Yeah.
Well, hell,
and that's
that
where she
works.
can do all her girl stuff.
Yeah, and you can do all your gross stuff. I hated sharing bathrooms with people, especially when you live with the opposite sex.
Yeah.
Like, that can get way... Like, I got intimacy issues, bro. And having to be around your significant other's bathroom time is way too intimate for my taste. You know what I mean? Like, that is just embarrassing. You will walk in and immediately think less of her forever. I've been in that situation, that can get gross. I once had a girl tell me, she's like, so we just act like we don't do that, right? That's what you're trying to hint at me? And I'm like, yeah. You know what I mean? Go do your business and come back. I don't need a fucking report. When I was growing up, there was this asshole named Kenton. And did you ever know Kenton?
I don't think so.
All right. This may have been before I started hanging out with you. So I'd crash at his house. He lived way over on the other side of Joplin. And he had this girl he had had since high school, right? And they were way too close. I'm talking like work was the only time they were apart. You couldn't hang out with him. You had to hang out with her too. It was one of them awkward situations. Whenever one of them went to the bathroom, they would call the other one in. And they would one would stand there, I guess, and talk to the other one while they're on the toilet. And then that would be like, they were just face to face staring at the beast. That is a level of closeness I hope I never find in another human being. You know what I mean?
No.
I don't want to be that close to you. I don't want to be that close to anyone. That's insane.
Yeah,
like, what if they're having...
There's just some things that should stay private.
What if they're having, like, a rough time and you're just staring at their O-face, like... Because if I was in that situation and I saw that, it would be, like, forever in my mind. And anytime, like, we're having an argument or she's trying to get me to take her seriously, that's all I'm going to think about. And I'm going to be like, I will not listen to a person that I've seen in that state. You savage. Holy hell, this room reeks of herb. At least it smells good, though.
Yeah.
On that note, hey, Bobby. On that note, I think it's time we call this bitch quits.
All right.
Non-apologetic nonsense.